Hello, it's 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition. For tonight headlines, we have the signing of an agreement between Djibouti and Ethiopia for the construction of gas pipelines between the two countries. For the international scene, who flamed the missiles worldwide, who shoot alarm sound. Welcome to our newsroom. The government of Djibouti, represented by the Minister of Energy in charge of natural resources, His Excellency Younis Ali Gedi, proceeded today in the late afternoon the signing of an intergovernmental agreement on the gas project between the Republic of Djibouti and the Federal Republic of Ethiopia. The signing marks a historic step in the progress of negotiations between the government of Djibouti and Ethiopia. The two stakeholders have in fact reached an agreement in principle to allow them to benefit from this project in an equitable way. The establishment of this project will enable the Republic of Djibouti to consolidate its position as a regional energy hub and become a reference industrial hub in this part.
Our pipeline system from Kalou and Ilala to Djibouti. So through this process, Ethiopia as well as Djibouti and the firm constructing this project will be benefiting a lot. Especially the government of Ethiopia will be creating several job opportunities, and our local firms will be also engaging in construction, and they will be also supplying construction materials.
For his part, the Minister of Energy, Younis Ali Gedi, said today the Djibouti and Ethiopian government is pleased to launch concretely this project of vital importance for Djibouti as well as for Ethiopia, which will lead to the construction of gas pipelines with a total length of 7,000 kilometers between Ethiopia and the future Damerjog industrial area, where a natural gas liquefaction plant and an export terminals will be built thanks to a private investment of amount $4 billion. The Minister of Energy, Younis Ali Gedi, has emphasized in his speech that this agreement between the two countries will create jobs. He would highlight that this agreement that started from the regions of Ogaden of the port Damerjog will carry gas. This agreement reflects the relationship between our two countries, concluded the minister. The Ministry of Health has organized a medical caravan for the inhabitants of the locality of Mulud in the Dekil region, which is about the celebrations. It's 40 years of its existence next Thursday. In fact, as part of the preparations for this anniversary, residents of Mulud benefit from free medical care and consultations from medical missions involving more than 8 specialists, including pediatric, stomatology, ophthalmology, and internal medicine. The activities of this medical caravan went perfectly as the member of the delegations of several government members, including the Minister of Transport, Mohammed Abdul Qadir Musa, the Minister of Housing, Mr. Musa Mohammed, the Minister of Culture, Mumin Hassan Barre, and the Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, Mr. Mustafa Mohammed Mahmoud, the Minister Delegate for Decentralization, Mr. Hamadou Mohammed Aramisa, and an audience of officials from the Department of Health. The delegation was warmly received by the local populations before conducting a site visit in the presence of the local authorities. For his part, the Minister Delegate to the Decentralization is Mr. Hamadou Mohammed Aramisa, who delivered his impressions on the success of the medical caravan organized in the framework of the preparations for the 40th anniversaries of the creations of the village of Muluda. Returning from the sub-prefectures of Ali Adde, the villages of Obeley, the members of the government and their companions went to the middle schools of the city of Ali Sabih, where they took part in the festivities of 40th anniversaries of the school. There, the distinguished visitors were greeted warmly by a compact crowd made up of administrative officials, college students, and their tutors, teachers, and inaugurate a few months after the country's accession to national independence. As the Aska Middle Education College, which had thousands of Asajok High School students, celebrate in the morning of yesterday with a great pomp its 40 years of existence. Remember that the schools that had welcomed its first generations of students during 1978 and 79 school year. Previously, the candidates admitted to the 6th entry examinations of the region were enrolled at the Bulaus College in the capital. The celebrations of the 40th candles of the CM saw the participations of the Minister of National Education, Vocational Training, Mustafa Mohamed Mahmoud, accompanied by his principal collaborator, the Minister of Labor, in charge of the reforms of administration, Hassan Idris Samriye, from the region, Mr. Mohamed Aramis, Deputy Minister for Decentralization, Mohamed Aramis, Mr. Mohamed Wabir Assowe, the Prefect of the region, Umar Ahmed Wais, the President of the Regional Councils, Nerfob Ahmed Hamadou Ibrahim from students, current leaders, all of his faculty students, tutors, and many others of anonymous. As for the Minister of Labor responsible for the reform of administration, Hassan Idris Samriye said himself is a former student of the establishment. He let the public know his immense joy to be there. He urged current students, colleges to work hard to be among the country's future elite. There were similar echoes in the remarks made by the Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, Mustafa Mohamed Mahmoud. He said this ceremony celebrating the 40th anniversaries of the CM of Ali Sabih city ended with the cup of cake bearing the images of this anniversary by Mustafa Mohamed Mahmoud and the leaders of the region. He said, the Minister of Labor responsible for the reforms of administration is in close collaboration with the European Union. Yesterday held the workshop of renditions of the missions, the strategy of the reform and administrations. The vast project of reforms of the public administration continues step by step. Things tend to become clearer and the contours of a modern and efficient public administration is at the service of user as the Djiboutian executive wanted it to begin. These workshops saw the participations of the Minister of Labor responsible for the reform of administration, Hassan Idris Samriye, the representative of the European Union, Mr. Adam Kulak, and the Executive Secretary in charge of the reforms of administration, Mr. Mohamed Awale Dirir. The institution's workshop of the reform strategy and administration mission held yesterday at the Kampeski Palace in another step toward this goal, since the meetings allow to analyze the texts and the procedures of management in the civil service. During the works of this workshop, the experts consultants were able to draw up a conclusive of the reforms and complete them the recommendations that could be followed by actions that could have led. More generally, it has been found that there is a clear gap between the practices in form of legal texts governing the acts of administrative procedures. For his part, the Executive Secretary in charge of the reforms of administration, Mr. Mohamed Awali Dirir, for his part explains that this training is very rich and inspiring exchange between the participants and the facilitators allow each other to update their knowledge of the text and regulations in force of concerning administrative procedures. The Minister of Labor responsible for the reform of administration, Hassan Idris Samriye, has thanks to the contributions of the European Union. The SECRA has a real strategy of interventions which traces the path of an effective reform, he concluded. The meeting rooms of the town hall today houses consultation meetings between the committee of the district of the municipality of Blaus and the mayor of city of Djibouti. This meeting focuses on the vast operations of cleaning and restorations to restore the anesthetic urban city. This meeting, chaired by the mayor of the city, Madam Fatouma Awale Osman, took place in the presence of the sub-prefect of this district, too, as well as the head of the prefectures. In addition to the authorities, this meeting also saw the participations of all the committee of the district of the municipality of Blaus, who have all moved to respond to the invitations of the mayor of Djibouti City. May also that everyone can give our opinions on the continuations of the programs on the operation of cleaning and restorations to improve the urban aesthetic of the city. Indeed, Madam Fatouma Awal Osman paid a heartfelt tribute to all stakeholders to know the different partners who have participate from near to far to the successful completions of this project to embellish the capital. At the same time, the mayor of the city, Fatouma Awal Osman, congratulate all the neighborhood committee who are invited to this meeting for the outstanding service and the commendable work they have done. Madam Fatouma Awal Osman then informed all the committee of the district of the municipality of Blaus that the cleaning work will not take place next Saturday to be able to reflect together on the continuations of the program, which will continue, and at the same time she exhorted from all the participants to give their ideas on how continues the continuations of her remarkable effort to restore the urban aesthetic of the city of Djibouti. It's the first of its kind. The opening of the painting painted by a Djiboutian artist opened this morning at the Hotel Les Acacias. The artist in question is she's Ubah Hamid Hassan. Present on this occasion is about 20 paintings, some more beautiful than the others, inspired by our landscape, the cultures of daydreams of our artists, but also the representations of a scene from our ancestral culture. These paintings are the meaning of this exponent special paintings Valentine's Day, which will continue until tomorrow, Thursday, February 14, 2019. The Minister of Women and Family, Moumina Ahmed Hassan, UNFD Vice President Hassan Ahmed Bilil, former Ministers of Culture, Rifqi Abdul Qadir Bamakrama, whose artistic talent is unanimously recognized, the deans of the Djiboutian artists, Mr. Hamadou Dabale and Aden Farah Samatar, as well as several other anonymous personalities, visit the Ubah Gallery, which opened this morning at the Hotel Les Acacias. Asked by the press, the artist is Ubah Hamu thanked the Hotel Les Acacias, who by then lending her conference room shows that this his direction is not insensitive to art. She also thanked her family for supporting him in what without a doubt is the passion of his life. The Djiboutian artist Ubah Hamoud explained that she worked at the Ministry of national education, and that to realize this exhibition, it took a year of hard work. Uba Hamid thanked all those who supported him from near or far, including the President of the Republic and the First Lady Khadra Mahmoud Haid. Faced with all this encouragement, Ms. Uba Hamid said that she will perceive it in this way. For his part, the mayor of Djibouti, Ms. Fatma Awad Usman, explained to us all her joy to participate in the opening ceremony of the artist of Djiboutians, Uba Hamid, one of the first Djiboutians in this area, she said. She added that these young painters deserve the support of Djiboutians, and they appreciate the values of work of Ubaha artists who reflect the culture and the popular traditions of our country. The National Network for Social Development organized a grand ceremony to create two social solidarity funds for the two target localities of the Republic of Djibouti, namely Dora and Aspio. The Solidarity Fund is an individual contributions fund whose objective is to help each other and improve the living conditions of their fellow citizens. The ceremony is held at Peka 12 in the center of Boka Ahmed. The ceremony was attended by the President of the Associations of Dora, Ms. Medina Muhammad, and the representative of the National Networks of Social Development, Mr. Said Gaboube, and the President of the Association is Abdurrahman Jama, Mr. Abdul Qadir Muhammad Hussein, President of the Fund of Dora, the management of the Solidarity Fund, the different phases of the approval of the financing and its subsequent modifications, and elaborate by a commission of the most which has long celebrated on the questions with the advices and experience. Like the capital and the regions of interior, Tajura region is organized at Tajura College this Thursday, February 14, 2019. The three-round stage of the three-round edition is the Grand School Competition. This stage brought together the winners of the training tour of basic education on the 5 basic schools of rural area and the CM of the Tajura. The meeting took place in atmospheres under the aegis of the inspectors of the region, Mr. Farah Douale, and the team of supervisions of the regional inspections, including have the focal point of the regions, Mr. Ali Dabale, in close collaboration with the head of the schools of the General High School and the Technical High School of the region. All teachers called for supervisions and corrections were present. In addition, the MENFOB Commission, chaired by the Inspectors General Muna Ismail, supervised the conduct of the competition. In the class, she said she was pleased with the competitions and the quality of the organization. She did not fail to congratulate the organizing committee. Also, as part of the fight against illegal immigration, the early mornings of February 14, 2019, at 16-hour gendarme stations at the stations of Lekasal have once again conducted raking operations of the area of Tafare. During this operation, the gendarmes arrested 312 illegal immigrants, including 81 women of Ethiopian descent who all want to go to the Gulf countries. These migrants received humanitarian assistance in water and food from the gendarmerie. At the end, they were renewed on February 15, 2019 on the boards of the Galilee with the rolling means of the gendarmerie. For the international scene, the World Health Organization worked Thursday about a measles outbreak in the world. It noticed a jump of about 15% of cases reported last year compared to 2017, who is sounding the alarms. The World Health Organization is worried Thursday, February 14th, about the outbreak of measles cases around the world, an epidemic that is explained by the difficulties to vaccinating some children. When we see the reported cases increasing by 15%, we know we are headed in the wrong direction, said Catherine O'Brien, the director of immunizations and biologic department of WHO, at a conference press. Our data, she said, show that there is a substantial increase in the number of measles cases. We are seeing in it all regions, and we are seeing epidemics that are prolonged and growing, she concluded. And this is it for the news. Thanks for watching us.